she writes letters to him, detailing her experiences. I guess it's a green card situation, if that's the equivalent you call in Korea, getting a green card, getting to stay in the country. And over time, knowing her only from a distance, it's turns really heartbreaking. And this low life triad, changes his mind about things, And absolutely great movie, Failan, Failan. If anyone wanna find it, then they have one brief scene together, but they don't talk. They just pass each other in the doorway.
Right.
But they're very much connected despite. Yeah, one of my favorite Korean movies. So if you want to squeeze it in during What's Korean Cinema, I would love to see it again. But maybe during the season 2 of What's Korean Cinema, if we ever get to a season 2.
Yeah. But when you brought up like Lost in Time there, and you mentioned Derek Key, it also reminded me of the other collaboration they had was One Night in Mongkok.
Yes.
Where I think Celia Chung was, I think she was just pretty much a hooker, wasn't she?
Mainland hooker. Yeah.
Yeah, who gets caught up with like a mainland hitman.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a country bumpkin who's basically been hired to kill someone, played by Daniel Wu.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like my first, probably my real exposure to Derek Yee at least, and it left me a confidence in the likes of Daniel Wu, because that film is dark.
Very dark, yeah, and great performance by Alex Jetpack Fong as well.
Yeah. Even Chin Carlock came back in there. I think that possibly was my reason for buying it.
Yeah, why
Chin
shouldn't
Carlock was
it
like
be?
a supporting actor.
A good supporting actor, very good. Not just background player.
Yeah.
Oh, you must have seen Full Alert, therefore. Speaking of Chin Carlock.
Oh, of course.
One of his great ones as well. I remember there was a heartbreaking scene in that where he was accused of gambling or betting on horses in an important situation, and it turns out that was not the case. And I remember it was very heartbreaking to see Chin Carlock. He thought he was trusted by his superiors, by Lau Ching-wan probably. Here we go. Here's the commercial for. And they exchanged shoes. That's sweet. And again, I think the movie earns slipping into this mood as well. Even though he might have hired her. As a matter of fact, that's what he's doing on the phone right now. He might have actually bought her. 1 to 10 million, possibly, if she's pretty. That's what she costs overnight, and I guess that tin has a lot of savings. Yep. As long as I press really well. But this is not a good move because she obviously, I haven't seen the movie for a long time, but obviously she's not in it for the work. Probably not anyway. Knowing this is a Stephen Chow movie, there probably is. There could be a twist in this scene, that she cheers for the money. Bye bye. Some foreground and background action. Always good to utilize the frame in that way.
Yep. Nothing else for it, I think. It's just a plain old deceit. Well, not deceit, just... so I'm just a whore.
But well played though, because she didn't do the whole, didn't become angry at him in that place. She, that was it. What a shame.
Never got hit with a folding chair.
Yeah, that would have been funny. That would have been extremely funny.
But these films have always just... And again, I do love Stephen Chow's films, but I don't think I could ever get around to watching all of them. I do remember coming across watching a unsubtitled copy of Dragon Fight, which was Jet Li and Stephen Chow.
Yeah, way early. Directed by Billy Tang, the director of Dr. Lamb and Red to Kill, prior to his Category 3 days. So it's amusing that it's prior to everyone's days, including, Jet Li, even though it was an action movie for Jet Li. it was still him trying to find a voice.
Yeah.
Not a bad film actually. It's a pretty decent action movie, and it's also fun to have a Hong Kong movie set abroad.
Aye, and Dick Wei being the bad guy.
Yep.
Aye, aye. It's like I just got sent just this random like VCD of it, and it was just basically Jet Li from I was gonna say Meltdown, but it's
High Risk.
High Risk. Yep, it was Jet Li. The cover High Risk.
Well, that is Meltdown, an AKA4 Meltdown.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually.
So there's like that was the cover of Dragonfight. It was like this just looked like a mainland VCD. It just had the cutout of Steven, not Steven. It was actually just Jet Li. Stephen Chow was never mentioned on it.
Weird.
So I think if they just focus on the main selling points, but
mainland VCDs and DVDs are always amusing because they, for instance, I bought the VCD of Triad Story, 1990 Triad movie with Stephen Chow, not a comedy at all, and they put current pictures of all the cast members on the VCD covers. Obviously, that was a bit more grayed up Stephen, a then current picture of Shin Fui-on, and so for mainland covers was fun in that regard. They tried to get people to pick them up because they look more like they look today, and they're obviously badly photoshopped too.
Yeah, I remember having a discussion with you back in the ye old days of Dragon's Den UK when I was doing a competition for the old site HKC UK, and I was giving away copies of must have been oh god, it's the Wong Kar-wai film, like Days of Being Wild.
Yep.
Think it was that one, and that where I had the ensemble cast of Tony Leung, Leslie Chung, Andy Lau, and all these other broads, and the front cover was basically Tony Leung from Tokyo Raiders, Andy Lau for some random film, Leslie Chung from another Wong Kar-wai film, and you're just telling me, like, dude, these are probably like bootlegs. Like, no, that's just really different cover art. Like, they could be all dressed like that in the film. And I got them for an extremely low price. They're real.
No one can complain about that.
They're discs. They're on discs. Of course they're real. The cases. They might not close properly, but they've got cases.
Sorry about the bad connection, people, but we're doing this live, so but no worries. At least there's at least 2 snot scenes in Hong Kong cinema. This is one, I believe, anyway. The elongated snot. Do you remember this scene at all?
Vaguely, but
right.
It's like memories are suddenly rushing back to me.
Yeah, the other one is not played for comedic effect. It's actually Jared pointed it out, my This Week in Sleaze co-host, and I do remember it now. In the category 3 movie Love Chaser, there's a dramatic scene where someone dies at the end, and this actor, male actor, really goes for it, and snot is just running through out of his nose onto his co-star who's dead, and they don't cut. But that wasn't for comedic effect. That was just a happy accident. This is the audition, and you can't cut during the audition either.
Oh, it just reminds me. Oh Lord!
You got to make this work too. You got to make snot that it has the right consistency, so it doesn't fall off, prematurely. Especially
it just
not on her.
Reminds me of fucking when it was Scary Movie making fun of the Blair Witch Project, with that one shot where she's crying into the camera. I'm pretty sure it was a similar deal on big. I I feel like I'm going to throw up. The fucking things like that are just a bit too much for me.
Well, it's and everybody's happy, everybody's laughing.
The man needs a bigger tissue than that. But it is like Karen Mock was another person that's like been quite quiet on my radar. Like I've not seen her in much else outside of things like the later Young and Dangerous movies, as well as Enter the Phoenix.